Hey guys, it's Beth, and today I'm doing a different but really fun video for you. I am responding to the 20 Crafty Questions tag from Alicia at Call Me Crafty Al here on YouTube. So she submitted 20 different crafty related questions for us to answer. And if you would like to participate, there is some information down in the description box below on what you need to do to participate. And there's also a playlist where you can see all the other participants' answers to these fun questions. All right, let's begin. So question number 1, where does your channel name come from? My channel name comes from the business name of the little business that my husband and I have together, which is Bourbon Creek Crafts. And that name comes from 2 different places. One, from our combined love of bourbon. And then we've done bourbon distillery tours down in Kentucky, and at Maker's Mark Distillery, there's a creek that runs through the distillery property, and it's called Whiskey Creek. Well, we love bourbon, and we have 5 acres on our land, and there's 4 acres out front that don't drain well at all. And so we had to dig a ditch that pretty much goes down the middle of our property all the way out to the road where the main ditch is. And so we call that Bourbon Creek, just to be silly, and we call our property Bourbon Creek. So when we decided to start our little business, we decided that it should be Bourbon Creek. It has nothing to do with paper or woodworking that we both do, but it does have everything to do with our combined love of all things bourbon. Question number 2, what types of crafts does your channel focus on? My channel is all about paper crafts, and specifically I am working on using up my huge stash of paper. So my goal with this channel is to give you guys some inspiration and ideas on how to use up all that paper that you have in your stash. So like I said, it's going to be predominantly paper crafts, but there may be a few odd other types of crafts here and there, but everything should be crafty related. Question number 3, where else do you share your creations online? I am on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook, all under the name of Bourbon Creek Crafts. Question number 4, how long have you been crafting? I'd say forever. I had very crafty parents. My mother was a seamstress, my dad is a woodworker, and they had a craft business together as well. They did craft shows, and they sold furniture, and even had a physical business, like a physical location there for a while. But I remember going to all the craft shows with them and getting to help them with their crafts. There's probably not many kids who would enjoy getting up at the butt crack of dawn every weekend during fall and winter to sit at a craft show all day, but I did love it. I loved being a part of it, and that kind of helped instill my love of crafting that I have still today. Question number 5, what is the first crafty item you remember making? And all on my own, I would have to say it was a cross-stitch picture. It was Precious Moments, and it had a dog and a cat. And I remember once I finished, I was so proud. That hung in my room for a really long time. And actually now it's in my daughter's room because her room is decorated with dogs and cats. So that picture's been around for a while. I was probably 8 or 9 when I did that one. Question number 6, what is your favorite type of craft? Anything that I can make with paper. Question 7, which of your creations is currently your favorite? I would have to say just all of my scrapbooks in general. And that's because I love the fact that I'm preserving memories, both of my family or from my childhood. And it's also my favorite paper crafting project. I started scrapbooking. That was like my first paper craft, and it's still my favorite to this day. Number 8, what do you do with your finished projects? Sell them, give them away, or keep to yourself? Yes, all of the above. It just depends on the project. If you could learn a new craft or art, what would it be? I've tried just about every craft, probably not every craft, but I've tried a lot of crafts in my lifetime. And the only thing I haven't tried is like knitting or crocheting. So that might be something I would like. And I have tried painting, but that is something that I would love to be able to master, just so I could like paint a sign, something as simple as a sign. Number 10, where do you create? I have a dedicated craft space, and it's actually our old dining room that we never used as a dining room other than maybe once a year when we had family over at Christmas. And so we converted it to my craft studio, and I share that with my daughters. It's right off the kitchen. It's kind of in the middle of all that's going on, and I absolutely love it. What would your ultimate craft space look like? I kind of feel like I have it, with the exception of having more space where I sit so that I could actually turn my chair all the way around without having to like shift and turn. I have a U-shaped desk and it's based on the size of the room. It's just not quite wide enough for the desk chair that I have, but otherwise I love my space. I used to be up in our bonus room right outside my daughter's bedrooms, and it was a nice big open space, but I felt like I had to be quiet because I was up there a lot when they were sleeping, either in the morning, at night, or during nap times, and it just wasn't laid out very well. It had sloped ceilings on one half, and for some reason it just wasn't conducive for me and my creativity. So it seems weird to say that our dining room is now my craft space, but it's a dream for me. We love it. My girls are in here crafting with me a lot, and we all seem to absolutely love it. Have you ever had any crafty accidents or mishaps? Yes. When I was in middle school, maybe 7th, 8th grade, I was working on a quilt. My mom had taught me how to quilt because she was a seamstress, and was working on a quilt and was actually at the sewing machine putting some sewing quilt blocks together, and I accidentally sewed all the way through one of my thumbs. It went through the nail, through the flesh, through everything. And it was like no major injury. I didn't get stitches. We were able to pull it out, clean it, and no harm done. But it was a little uncomfortable to look at for me at the time. But like I said, no lasting damage. Other than that, I have the consistent burnt fingertips from the hot glue gun that all of us crafters experience. Do you have any funny crafty stories to share? Yes, it's not necessarily mine. It's more of my oldest daughter, Ellie's. When she was a toddler, she couldn't say crafts. Like for some reason, it was that FTS blend. And so instead of crafts, she said crap. And we were at my parents' church, and after Mass, they were going in the cafeteria, they were doing Easter crafts because it was right before Easter. And Ellie was just so excited. And everybody she saw, she told them how excited she was that she got to go downstairs and make some Easter crap after church. So that's kind of our running joke now, that sometimes we don't necessarily make crafts. We may make crap depending on how it turns out. Number 14, what is your favorite drink and or snack to have while crafting? I don't generally snack while I craft, but I do always have something like a beverage of some sort on my table. So in the morning, it's coffee. In the afternoon, it's either water or coffee, depending on the afternoon and how tired I am. And then in the evening, it depends on the time of the evening. Like if it's before the kids go to bed, it's probably water. After the kids go to bed, it may be a glass of wine or a beer or some bourbon. Because, in the evenings, I'm all about crafting and relaxing, just like Sarah's channel here on YouTube. Do you watch or listen to anything while you craft? Yes. If I'm doing a task that requires a lot of thought or concentration, then I'm usually listening to Pandora. And that's usually the Lindsay Sterling channel. I love Lindsay Sterling. And it's a great mix of instrumental music. Some of it's kind of relaxing. It's a lot of movie soundtracks. And then there's a lot of uplifting, kind of energizing songs on there as well. So I love that. If I'm doing more of a repetitive task that doesn't require a lot of concentration, then I'm usually watching YouTube. 16, what is your biggest craft purchase regret? I would say all of the material that I purchased to make a quilt for my craft room, all along knowing that I really don't like to sew. So I'm not sure why I thought that making an entire quilt was going to be a good idea, but for 12 years I collected fabric just for sure that I was going to get this quilt done. And now I've ended up cutting most of that fabric up into scraps so that I can make a fabric scrap valance for my craft room. So I guess it's still going to good use, but that was a lot of money that I spent on something that was probably never going to come to pass. And 17, what is your most favorite craft purchase? And I would have to say my silhouette cameo, because it is so versatile. I love the fact that not only can I cut, die cuts or 3D projects from it, but I can also scan stamps like stamped images that I've done, or like something else that I want to have the silhouette cut out for me. And then probably the way I use it most often, well, is to cut letters for our blocks, but then probably second most often is if I don't have a stamp set that has the sentiment or the size of a sentiment that I want, I create it on my silhouette and then just print it out on my color printer. And so I think that kind of saves me money from having to buy multiple stamp sets just to get, that one sentiment or that one size that I need. So I just love my silhouette for its versatility. 18, if you could use only one adhesive for your crafty projects, what would you choose? I would choose score tape every day. I love my score tape. 19, if you could only use products from one company for the next month, which would you choose? If it doesn't have to be a specific product brand, then I would say scrapbook.com, because we all know that you can get anything and everything you could possibly need at scrapbook.com. If it's a specific brand, then it would be Echo Park all the way, because I love Echo Park. And number 20, who is one crafter that you watch or follow that you think needs some more love from the crafty community? I don't know if she needs more love, because she's pretty well known around here for her paper crafting inspiration, but Christy Marcotte is my all-time favorite YouTuber for paper crafting. She's kind of what got me started in watching the paper crafting videos, and she's given me so much inspiration. She's the one I watch most consistently, and I could just sit and watch her 6x6 pad tutorials all day long. As far as a newer channel, one that I've recently fallen in love with is Project 39 mini albums, and she does some super cute mini scrapbooks, and she's also working through her stash, and so she's trying to come up with different ways to use her paper pads as well. So she shows you just not only the scrapbooks, but some other projects as well. So please check out Project 39 mini albums, and I will link both her and Christy in the description box below. Bonus question: what is a non-crafty channel that you love to watch? And my favorite non-crafty YouTuber would be Lydia Sen. And her channel is about all things like frugal living, budgeting. But Lydia is just very fun and very real and honest. And I love to watch her videos. And she's always got some great tips on how to raise a family frugally without breaking the bank. So I will also leave Lydia's link in the description box below. So please be sure to check her out if you need some help in the frugal living area. All right, so that was all the questions. I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you learned a little bit about me and my crafting history or my crafting favorites. And if you enjoyed this and would like to participate, there's still time. Like I said, I will leave some instructions for that in the description box below. Also, we'll leave all the channels I mentioned in this video with their links down below, so you can go and check them out. And then if you thought this was interesting and would like to learn some more about some of the other crafty YouTubers, the playlist will also be linked, so you can go check out their responses and learn a little bit about them too. But I thank you guys so much for your time today, and I hope you have a very crafty rest of your day.